All right, then,
So
everybody. This is YATA here, and I'm over here with Gianfranco, who
hello, hello.
is considered by a lot of people to be the Infernoble Knight master. He topped eighth last format using Infernoble Knight when almost no people thought that Infernoble Knight was top tier. And he's usually the person who ask like questions about Infernoble Knight, so he's like the guru. So a lot of people think I'm good at the deck. No, he's like the master. He's like the MVP with the Infernoble Knight deck. And also, if you're willing to stick around, we're gonna have a section where we're gonna reveal his deck profile and with another side profile that's also kind of spicy. And I'm gonna reveal it once we get to that stage. I'm gonna put it on the edit, so everybody should be able to see it and copy it if you want to. So how are you,
Yeah.
Gianfranco?
Well, I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay.
Just so you know, yeah, I got top 8 in Dwelling Book rated,
A little
not
bit, right?
like any tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different because the meta is so diverse there. I usually play just in Dwelling Book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Nash and the podcast before this one. He's like the number one rated right now on Dueling Book.
Yeah, of course I know this.
And then he kept mentioning Infernoble Knights in the podcast, and I'm like, you're probably the reason he hates the Infernoble Knights, like, cause he
We have
uh
had some match like in last format. I remember. I
yeah
think we are kind of even.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I've seen a lot of high rated people always mention it for Noble Knights, and I think it's because you're usually at the top rank, so like they get to face you, so they kind of fear that deck. Otherwise, they wouldn't know anything about that deck, right?
So I'm not the only one. First of all, yeah, I wanna give like a really quick shout out to the Infernoble Lab
Oh yeah.
because we are like at least 5 to 10 people that play competitive with the deck. I'm not the only one, but
Oh okay.
I do think I am really skillful. Maybe
Okay.
not the best, but one of the best.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. And like, I was gonna say, you've been on television before, right? In the past, you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have like a side life, like
Uh-huh.
Bruce Wayne slash Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I am kind of a famous person with something called the Rubik's Cube. Just so
Oh,
you know, fun fact.
wow. Wow, that's cool. How long have you been doing that? For?
For 7 years. Yeah,
Wow.
more than Yugi.
So you're not just you doing Yu-Gi-Oh, you do other things outside of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that with the pandemic situation, the cubic the cube competition got canceled in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So I've not been able to compete there, and I start to find more joy in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got you like into Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, how did you get started? Was it like the TV show or?
Yeah, the TV show. I started as a kid playing in the school with fake rules and fake cards. Then I forgot about Yu-Gi-Oh for like 10 years. Then one day in a cube competition, I was side of my competition, like one store next. There was a how can I say this? Like a Yu-Gi-Oh store, and I saw like a nostalgic card for me. A Black Luster Solid and Void at the beginning. So I said, you know what? I never had this card like original. So let me buy this, and that's when I start in Yugi, like 2015, 16. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right then, gotcha. And then like, what made the jump from like casual Yu-Gi-Oh to like competitive? What was it? The pandemic? Is that what started it?
No.
Uh-huh.
It was like I know before the pandemic. I went to some locals and even some what's his name, UDS, no, not YCS, just UDS and regionals. Yeah, regionals
Mm-hmm.
in my country in Peru.
Uh-huh.
But I never got like to top. But each competition, I was getting better, like in higher places, and I really enjoyed playing Rogue because I only stick with one style of deck the entire time. It was chaos with Silence Warman and Summoner Monk. Then turned into PK. Then with when Isol came out, turned into Goki, into Warriors. Then Dark Warriors. Then Infernoble Knight or Fire Warriors, and that's where I am right now. But always like that kind of combo.
Oh,
playstyle.
okay. So were you playing it back when Smoke Grenade was legal in VFD?
Yeah, yeah. The second that the Infernoble cards got legal, I switched from Dark Warrior Kali Yuga to Infernoble because, yeah, I think that had a higher ceiling. It was really crazy to play Infernoble when it was at full power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean it's crazy now. Like when I go against it on rated, I'm kind of fearing because I know that if they go through like uninterrupted, like if you have no hand traps, you lose that game. Like it's like almost
yeah. It's
unwinnable.
it's like a dry term. I
Yeah.
mean, depending on which deck list you are facing, but right now most of the best Infernoble lists they are putting Herald, Savage, Charles. That means Omni negates and pop, and Omega hand rips. The thing is that those interruptions are so generic that they can make the same impact versus a control deck, versus a meta deck, versus a mid-range deck because yeah, Omni negates generic, pop generic, hand loop generic. It's not like BFD that it's only versus monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, BFD had a bad matchup versus like back row decks, right? Like the decks that didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But now like Charles is so good against back row decks because he cannot be targeted. He can just pop during each end phase, right? Like Charles is just such a nightmare for back row decks, right?
Yeah, I compare it with Dragoon. It's like having a Dragoon, but the protection is on the spell and trap zones. And if you play the archetype, you get follow up. It's like an extender because you get the render for next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think at this point in time, Smoke Grenade can come back?
No,
No, no, right?
no. I mean, they ban it for a reason.
Yeah.
um, it's so unfair. I really loved playing the smoke. It was like you can get 2 3 hand drops as long as you put hard in Charles smoke. You were a lot ahead of the game. It was like Drytron putting Dragoon as a last resource.
Yeah.
Imagine right now Drytron putting Dragoon and then confiscation one card in your hand. That was a smoke grenade. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
unfair.
Like, I'm assuming you don't think VFD can come back either, right? Uh,
I think it's not the only one. I think the ban list missed Kali Yuga. And
Kali.
when some deck start spamming that card, I mean, for me, that's even worse than VFD.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think VFD should not come back. Kali Yuga should got banned. And what's the other card? Azathoth should stay banned because they are like doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
And then there is a level 12 Synchro, but that's so hard to special sound that I think that can be legal.
Oh, the King
The
Calamity. King Calamity.
Yeah,
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 that one. It's really hard to put.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, like Smoke Grenade is just such a crazy card. Like, cause you could like, can you would you able to rip 2 cards per turn, or was it just one per turn?
I mean, there was some combos when you could have open smoke, you could Renault grab back smoke, and yeah, and that would allow you to make more rips.
Okay.
But for me, that was not like the best combo. That was only good if you get hand trapped somehow, or if you dolphin see the hand and you see double dark ruler, or if you open the smoke. But most of the time, one smoke was more than enough. Yeah, going for the second smoke meant like sacrificing one savage or another interruption. Yeah, that was my take.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I always like I respect them for Noble Knights a lot. I know that deck. A lot of people see it as rogue. I don't think it's a rogue. Like if you were to place it like tier 1, tier 2, like where would you put for Noble Knights in since you know like everything about that deck?
I mean, knowing everything and playing a lot make you a little bit biased. You know what I mean? But even though,
Yeah.
even though trying to avoid being biased, I still think it can be tier one. Not because of the representation, but because it can beat any deck, any meta deck right now, and winning or losing die troll depending on your side pattern.
Yeah.
It has a real shot winning anything. Yeah.
Yeah, like just with in engine cards, right? Like every time
Yeah.
I like ask him a question about like, hey, what do you think about this matchup? He tells me, oh, that matchup is easy. Just engine cards beats that matchup. I'm like, what? Like I didn't think it would be that easy, but Yeah, like there's a lot of strong cards in the deck that are not like side decks or hand traps that are just good enough. Like, in your opinion, like, what do you think? What is your favorite like Infernoble Knight card, or like
Hmm.
avoiding like hand traps and
Yeah.
side deck cards, like,
Yeah.
yeah, including any warrior or any like equip or any extra deck monster. Like, what is your?
I mean, my favorite, if I only count the card by itself, it would have to be Connector or Gearfried. Probably Connector, because Connector is the only one card combo.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Gearfried is like the best going second warrior.
yeah,
So it's like a tie.
yeah,
If I'm going second, I'd rather have Gearfried. If I'm going first, Connector.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, connector. Some people, I've heard people say that it may be like the best normal summon in the game, even better than Alistar normal summon. Yeah,
Alistair is not the best. I mean,
yeah,
for me, in my ranking, it would be Connector, then maybe Terror Top or Tour Guide.
yeah.
Mm, Alistair maybe in the top 10, but not the best. Yeah.
Maybe scales maybe up there too, right? Phantom Knight.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. How can I forget? But
yeah,
it's not one card combo, it's 1.5.
yeah. One point
Yeah.
five. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can top deck connector and just full combo, right? But
Yeah, yeah. And it happens. Sometimes it happens and it feels so good, you know?
yeah,
Or sometimes I remember versus Dino last format, he went like Conductor, Lagia, Sight on the standby phase, and I went like Droplet, discard 4, negate everything, and then I only have one card. Connect on normal summon, GG. Yeah, it happens.
yeah, yeah. I was commentating over a game like a couple of days ago, and it was like Salamangreat versus Dino, and like
Yeah,
Dino put up their whole board, but what Dino lacks is that they don't really have any back row interruptions. So the Salamangreat just top deck Droplet and just like negated their whole thing, because like
yeah.
Droplet is so good against decks that don't have back row interruptions, right? Yeah,
I mean, sometimes, yeah, yeah, of course, it
yeah,
is.
yeah. uh, like
But I mean, not versus Infernoble. We don't have back row interruption, but we hand rip, so they don't have too much cards to discard.
yeah.
We play around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with Herald of the Arc Light, it makes it kind of awkward. They can't even discard like monsters, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
good players, like in the Ground Link era, they will normal summon and then use droplets. So, yeah, they can play around Herald.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Like, I feel like the deck just has like a way to out anything. I remember when I first started learning the deck, which was like last year, and then like I
Yeah.
would look at all the videos. Like I'm like, oh, this is a combo deck. You lose to Dark Ruler no more. Like, there's no way around it. And then like I saw one of your tutorials on the Infernoble Knight deck, and then
Yeah.
I saw like the whole reviving Arc Light with Living Fossil, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So that's like a way to play around Dark. Oh, like that's crazy. Like there's a way around any single card that you can think of. Nibiru, anything, right?
I mean,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, you can do the best versus any card. For example, I was thinking about this, like thinking, what are we going to talk about in the podcast? Maybe what hand traps hurt the deck. And
Yeah.
then I remember Shifter. You know,
Oh yeah.
Shifter kills almost any meta deck.
Yeah.
Maybe Emancipator plays around that, but
Yeah.
I remember when Dryden was legal, rest in peace, buddy. So he, I mean, that deck could play Shifter in the main. So I would go going first, got Shifter, and then I still had a chance to win. You know how?
How?
Because if you open like 3 extenders, that's not impossible. You could go like the Rendal, grab Renat, grab back the Rendal, then Renat Dolphin into Herald, or Dolphin Rip the only Sue, or Isolde grab Gear, and then do you survive? The thing is that they will go verbal attack directly, put 4 material shoes, wipe the board because they think, oh, Isol is gonna get banished, not in the graveyard. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
And then next turn, Gear Freak by itself out Zeus, and then DDR bring back Isol, full combo or normal summon connector.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It has a way to play around in any situation. Sometimes the worst things are flat gates, but as long as it's not, there can only be one. No, I mean, yeah, we have an out for everything. I already thought about it. Like, Ghost and Match, we put Fire Warrior, Charles, Gilfrid. Rivalry, same. And if we put Charles, then Charles can pop any of those. Summon Limit depends if they have more stuff. If they are playing slow, then we just put, I don't know, Red Layer, Oliver. Next turn, Charles. Or Ogier, Renault, grab gear. Next turn, gear beat down. Yeah, there are plays around most of the thing. Even there can only be one. Yeah. The idea was, let's say, red layer and a hand trap, going to Halki, special summon another hand trap, and then those two into unicorn. Yeah. That's, and then you took out the what's his name? Yeah, there can only be one.
Yeah.
So back rows are not are like the worst thing to play around with Infernoble, but there are ways.
Yeah.
if you know every possible scenario.
Yeah. And like in any match, usually, like let's say they win the die roll, and then they set up 5, and then they have like there can only be one and some unlimited, something like that, something like crazy to like you can't really get around, right? What usually happens is you lose that game, then game 2 you beat them, right? And then like game 3 you usually have all your side deck cards, right? Like lightning storms, twin twisters, or whatever. So like yeah. And like I believe like game 3 is when Infernoble Knight gets like better, because you already have like your a way out to your weaknesses with your side deck, you know.
I would say that the advantage that Infernoble has is winning going first. If it's not in game 1, if you think game 1 is unwinnable, you blind scoop, and if you don't get Y scoped, or if you're playing real life, then you have the surprise factor to FTK. And even if they know you're in Infernoble, some decks disrespect Infernoble because it's not popular, and then they don't have the correct hand drops. And if they have them, maybe they don't know where to use them. And even if they have the cards, they know where to use them. If you open broken, you can beat like any hand trap. Win game 1 or win game 2, and then as you said, post tie. If your deck is prepared, you have a real shot to win.
Yeah. It's pretty insane. I mean, like I've won some games basically just with Charles, like, because Charles equipped with an Oliver can be kind of like crazy to like, because he cannot be targeted, and during the end phase he's gonna have 3,500 attack. So yeah, and then like usually some decks just can't play around it, like Sky Striker just like I love summoning Charles against Sky Strikers with Oliver attached to it. Yeah.
They need to put like the link 3 Ningirsu, but at that point, if they put that card, you pop it with Charles.
Yeah. Like, is there any decks that you personally don't like playing against with Infernoble Knights? Like,
depends on each format. Right now, I think the worst matchup are Prankits and Drytron, because if they win die roll, it's hard to beat them. I mean, unless you are maining a lot of hand drops, but it depends on your how do you want to build the deck. Yeah. Or the mirror match. Infernoble mirror match are horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, it's whoever wins die roll wins game, basically, the match.
I remember last format, the best Infernoble players on DB rated, it was me and another guy called Moon, or Shadowman 333. Some people may know them. Yeah, and we faced on rated twice. It was cool because we know a lot of the decks, so we could get away with some situations. Like, for example, if I combo and get nip, then he start comboing. He used Ogradon, I trigger my own 001 and little stuff like that. Or I put Charles without what's his name, Oliver in graveyard, because he's gonna use an Eclipse in some moment, so it's gonna be a live interruption. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you can get skillful enough to have an advantage in mirror matches.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard to do it nowadays because nobody have mirror matches with Infernoble. The best way to do it was when Infernoble was meta. Then you could have gone the knowledge of mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like right now, I rarely have the mirror when I played Infernoble Knights. Um, what's your opinion on the Phantom Knight package on Infernoble Knights? Do you like it or you prefer pure Infernoble Knights?
So I love it like a lot because I played PKs before Infernoble, so I have an
Yeah.
emotional feeling, emotional attachment. Also, I think turn scale is the best way to replace Link Bros because turn scale allows you Appaloosa, and it's pretty similar to put Herald or Savage before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it adds a lot of ceiling to the deck
Yeah.
and combos because putting Appaloosa is pretty nuts versus some matchups.
Yeah. And then right.
But I do know the disadvantage. It takes up space for your non-engine cards, or sometimes you would rather have a fire flint than a cloak.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has a little bit of a downside. I think it's worth it if you are expecting some nibs or imperms, but I love those cards. As you know, I am not playing it right now
Yeah.
because I think in DB rated you need a lot of space for non-engine to be prepared to face the random of the random of the random deck.
Yeah.
But if that was not the case, I would play PKs for sure.
I'm gonna put the list right here for everybody to see. This is the list with the PKs. So he mainly has them on the side deck. So like, cause you only mainly want to put them when going first. That's why. And then he also has the Appaloosa on the side deck too, right? Because you usually make Appaloosa whenever you side in the PK package, right?
I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah.
So right now the extra leagues is so tight that putting Appaloosa makes it even more tight. And then you have two choices. Or playing one Isolt that could be on some tournament or on a local meta, but in DB rated with random decks, I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh yeah.
or playing in the side one extra deck card. Could be Appaloosa, could be Unicorn. Yeah. Could be Savage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the extra decks. That's another thing I was gonna ask you. I'm assuming you heard of Retort Fusion, right? And then like
Of course.
yeah, and you know how some people are trying to use like that Fire Warrior guy. I can't remember the one.
Flame Swordman, the original.
Yeah. They're trying to use
the original Infernoble Knight.
yeah, they're trying to use that. What is your opinion on that package?
I think in the Infernoble Lab we figure Flame Swordman like 3 minutes after we heard about Retort Fusion, like really quick. And the first downside was we don't have space.
Yeah.
The only way to have space it could be playing the non-Dracosac build, where you can have like an access code or a Phoenix or some utility cards. Then you could play Retort Fusion. If you're playing Dracosac, I don't recommend it. I mean, because ideally you want to play 3 Retort, 1 instant, and 2 targets, the Flame Swordman and the level 2 tuner. Because if you already have ISO access, your best extender is a level 2 tuner. That's why.
Yeah, that is true. True. So you can make Kalki.
And also, also because it makes Retort Fusion or instant on turn 3 to be live. But if you ever draw both, then both are live. So I think the best way to play it is with 2 targets and playing the non-power tool version. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. I didn't know about like siding, like having all 3 of them plus instant fusion and having 2 targets. That way, it's always live, basically, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was our theory. But the thing is that I don't think it's optimal because it doesn't solve like the deck's problem. I like depending on how you play it, you should not have consistency problems to want to play 4 extenders, and then those 4 extenders feel like a pseudo Flint. It's like another copy of Flint. I do agree it's cool to have like the level 2 tuner, but you already have Oliver. Flame Swordman have a big attack, and it's level 5. we have red layer. It has a recovery effect. It has more attack. So I don't think it's putting like if you have a puzzle, it's not covering any missing spot. That's my take.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it will be some testing need to be done, right? But your opinion on right now is like you'll just have to barely like test a little bit more, or you have to be dedicated to that, right? Like to that build with the fusions and everything. That's your point of view at the moment, right? Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't like playing the non power tool build because I think it's too low ceiling. But if you like to have utility cards, or if you like to not recon equips, then yeah, you should play Retort Fusion because you can get the advantage. Also, if your combo relies too hard on a level 2 tuner, then that's another reason. In my combo, I don't really need a level 2 tuner because I have Riser. That's a level 2 tuner in the extra deck. So that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there. Yeah, and then like, if you want, we can talk about the. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna post the list that he is currently playing. Is like the pure build, the one that he wanted to show everybody here. This is like his most up to date list to combat the meta. He's using the TG Striker Warrior. The T
Yeah.
Because I asked him, and it's because if you want, you can tell people like, why is it that you replace TG Striker instead of Genba, the other level 2 tuner?
Because Gemba may look like an effect monster, but he's kidding. He's actually a normal monster. But TG Striker is a pseudo red layer going second, or if you get Gamma, so it has more utility. That's why.
Yeah. Genba is useless unless like his only use is basically just summoning it off is sold basically because otherwise.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't want to disrespect. It's a normal summon. I mean, Genban Fleet is full combo.
Yeah.
Funny enough, but it's not what you want a normal summon. Never.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you prefer connector.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, connector, and then like, I like the fact that you're running the call by the grave and the triple tactics just to like combat like hand traps and everything like that. You know, I love that.
Yeah. So my idea is playing to win going first. So if I win the die roll, I'm gonna FTK because I have all the going first cards. And if I go second, I have a reasonable. Can I say this? I have a pretty good chance to win versus everything that is not Rytron. Yeah, that's my idea.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to that discussion afterwards, like what we think about the current meta. Like right now, we're just discussing it for Noble Knights, and I want to talk about Drytron in the future. And then like last deck list that I was not expecting when I came into this podcast, but he was like, I want to show everybody this deck list. So this is.
Do you already see it? Did you already see it?
Now they can see it. Yeah. So this is the crazy build. He's running Dawn Kali Yuga. So yeah, in 2021 he's making Kali Yuga with Infernoble Knights. I haven't even asked him anything about this deck list, so I don't know how he works. I don't know how
it looks crazy. I know. Yeah. So I just, as I told you, I was playing Kali Yuga before Infernoble. I think it's also an auto win card. It was pretty similar to Smoke because it plays around any going second card, but was Fear Mode or Lava Golem. But when I look up on YouTube Kali Yuga combos, Dark Warrior combos, the updated ones, they are not good because they play it like in a basic style. I don't think they think too much about being competitive because, first of all, I don't see them playing Rusty. Rusty is the only way to make Kali Yuga if you get drawn or if you get Lancia. So this list with Infernoble it allows you to make Kali Yuga no matter what, and that's really cool. The idea is to abusing Spellcaster.
Oh yeah, the Summoner Monk.
Yeah, so back in the day, Armageddon was at 1, and I was thinking, I need to summon Armageddon, but my Isol gets stopped every time.
Yeah.
Guess what? The Summoner Monk is another Armageddon Knight.
What?
It's an Armageddon Knight that cannot get nipped because it has a stupid effect that says it cannot be tributed.
What
That's
the
crazy.
heck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
And the idea is you can loop Summoner Monk. Like if you already set up Isol effect, you have infinite Phoenix Blade. So you can put special summon Monk to special summon Monk to special summon Monk to special summon Armageddon to dump something. And and you cannot get nipped because those 3 monsters are not able to be triggered. It's crazy.
That's crazy. What the heck? I didn't
The
know that.
idea
I
is
didn't know that.
yeah, the idea that deck and the idea is to make Celine using spellcaster but you are playing a warrior deck. What spellcaster you're gonna play? Back in the day, I was playing the good spellcaster, Magician Soul, but it's not a warrior. Sometimes you break on that. So I discovered, guess what? We have an extra deck spellcaster called Anima, and it requires a level what? A level 1. Oliver is level 1 when it's special summoned. Vernon is level 1. Flint is level 1. Astolfo is level 1. You know what? I think this makes sense. Pretty much any Infernoble becomes Anima, and Anima Isol becomes Celine. So Celine revive. So basic combo. Armageddon, dump, Summoner Monk. You need one extender to make Celine, revive Monk, make a Puldusa, and then use the other engine Codebreaker. Yeah, Codebreaker to put Rusty under Puldusa, and then when to Rusty, you can put Kali Yuga and Dweller pretty easily. Yeah, pretty easily. If you get roll and you cannot search, you use Rusty effect to set the rank up, but you can't search double or nothing. Yeah, but you can make 1 Utopia, 2 Utopias, and use them for Kaiser as the normal summoning condition.
Wow.
Dude. Yeah, so I haven't played that deck in 2 months, but I remember all the theory when I created it. I was so happy when I make the concept.
He brought you guys an exclusive deck list, so don't.
Yeah, that deck list doesn't exist online.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Yeah, so like, if people start hating you at your locals because you're playing this deck, he's to take credit right here. When you get Kali Yuga, your opponents they're gonna love it because Kali Yuga, in case you didn't know, is like an upgraded BFD. It's like better than BFD.
Yeah. So people think, but you can out Kali Yuga with Kaijus. Guess what? Celine, you have Big Eye under Celine. You get Kaiju, Celine effect, revive Big Eye, boom, rank up. It's beautiful because it doesn't lose to the most things that other Kali Yuga deck loses to. So it doesn't lose to Draw, doesn't lose to Lancia, doesn't lose to a Kaiju, doesn't lose to Super Poly because but you have Big Eye and you have Rusty. If you fear Super Poly, special summon Big Eye, the Rusty effect pop itself. Now you only have 1 dark. So it plays around everything. I really love that concept.
That's freaking insane. That's insane, man. If this becomes popular, you know who to give the credit to. But that's something I'm gonna try out on my own time, and
for sure.
It sucks that I don't have a lot of these cards, so I'll probably start purchasing them. Like, I don't have the Summoner Monks and
but they are cheap. Most of them are really cheap. Yeah.
I was gonna search for them, but it should be interesting.
There is a crazy theory but this worked like in the Eternal format that I was citing Shifter. Why Shifter in a combo deck? Because if you are facing Salad, you Shifter when they have Veilings, so they don't do too much. And then on your turn, you only need Summoner Monk effect for Photon Thrasher and another level 4. You get 2 level 4s, Utopia double, push for game versus any link monster. You can crash on Veilings, you could crash on the Galatea, you could crash on any Sky Striker. So there were links in attack It was beautiful in that format.
Wow, I did not. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing against Utopia Double back in the days, and it was crazy because I was playing Orcust at the time, and I fear like just ending on Galatea because Galatea, if you get Utopia Double, is GG. You know, it's game over.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Do you think that hard port will ever come back?
It should. It's not broken these days.
Yeah,
I mean, there are better cards than Harper, to
yeah,
be honest.
yeah. I mean, I want it to come back. The card I don't think, and I know I'm gonna make a couple of my friends mad with this, but like
But
I don't think Colossus should come back because that card is crazy. Like so easy to
hmm,
make. He's like a droll with legs. I mean, droll. I don't know. Yeah, droll has legs, but even bigger legs than droll.
it has a real legs because you are never summoning Droll. Oh,
Yeah.
in this Kali deck, guess what? Your hand traps are extended. So Droll is a level 1 to make anima, or is a spellcaster by itself. The Veiler is a tuner and it's a level 1, so you could make anima or you could make Halki. The idea with it was to make Halki to summon Veiler, to make Selene, to revive Monk, and yeah, it was crazy.
Oh yeah, cause you run. Yeah, all your hand traps are level 1, right? Yeah, yeah. Joel and Baylor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah, yeah.
That's the reason.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's fascinating. Yeah, man, I miss that deck. The only reason I don't play it is because I think it's better when people are playing more going second cards and not hand traps.
Yeah.
But with Drytron, yeah, people prefer hand traps.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah. If
Uh.
the format change and people start putting more Dark Ruler and Kaijus and going second cards, then maybe I could change because Kali Yuga is better than Omega for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kali Yuga is a scary card. Like honestly, like every time somebody says I can consistently bring out Kali Yuga, I start fearing a little bit because like that card is insane. It's insane.
Uh-uh. And you know what?
Mhm.
I remember that I incorporate Dweller because there was some decks that play around Kali Yuga. For example, Eldritch. Set cards. You pop them because you have Fair Duster in Kali Yuga, and then they recover the sets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is true.
Then at Emancipators, they have more of their effects in their hand. Like right now, I think Dytron could do some stuff because they activate in hand or graveyard. So Kali Yuga only negates field. That's why I put Dweller. Because then Dweller Kali Yuga was no graveyard, no field. Then you can like go take a nap because you're winning.
Oh man, that's and then yeah, that's you're going first play is Kali Yuga, you're going second is double or nothing, right? Or just like your opponent scooping right there because like they don't want to play against Kali Yuga.
Yeah. You can try to combo. You can Dark Ruler and then make a board. And then with Kaiser, Big Eye, Rusty, destroy everything. And then Kali Yuga on the next turn.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, as you said, just Utopia Double out of nowhere.
um.
The main downside, so if somebody want to place it, be careful about Zeus. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
right now it's not as popular as before, but people usually would play Zodiac and they would go, okay, you have Kali Yuga. Normal summon Zeus, Borbo, attack directly, 6 material Zeus. Next turn on your draw phase, Zeus pop your board. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why in the side deck I had a little guy called Necrogarna.
Oh okay. For
So
whenever
you
you
dump it with you search it with Isol and dump it, or Smil with Armageddon. Yeah, and that protects you from Zeus.
that's crazy and it's a warrior, right? What?
Yeah,
For some reason he looked like a fiend to me. I never knew he was a warrior. He just looks like a Dark World monster or something like that.
he's a dark warrior.
Oh man, like you know what? If you want, we could talk about since I'm over here sitting with the Infernoble Land Master. Like, why don't we talk a little bit of theory? Like, I have never seen Photon Trasher on a lot of your lists. Like, do you not like it? It's like a red layer, right? Why don't you like it? Is it because it like it's more restrictive than red layer?
I mean, it's because it's too much to have more than 3 red layers.
Oh yeah.
Because in your deck, you have 9 red layers. If you need it, you will Heritage or Durendal. So you are never missing a red layer. And yeah, why playing level 4 red layer when you can play a level 5 that have synergy with Oliver normal summon, make Charles, that has synergy with Peach for as cost for Oliver, or summon this and then Renault.
Yeah.
Or in the grind games, I really like this. In the grind games, in the control matches, to recover, to
Oh
loop.
yeah. I love.
So yeah, I think it's better. I play Photon Traction when I want to make level 4s. Like in the Kali Yuga deck, before Infernoble, I was playing Photon Traction because it was level 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love. I love red layer because like whenever I'm playing against back row decks, they realize that they're gonna lose just against red layer because I'm gonna keep recovering like the red layer. So they solemn strike my red layers effect, or like
Yeah, yeah.
they solemn judgment. I'm like, that's good, you know. Like I want you to use those cards against my red layer because like he's mainly just like just to scare you, you know. Like he's there to
Yeah.
threaten your life, you know.
It's
Yeah,
like a mini Gearfried
yeah,
in some aspects. Yeah, but Gearfried is there to threaten your life points or your boss monsters, and then Red Layer pretty much the same because 2000 is, I mean, 2k attack is not bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then another card that when I started playing Infernoble Knights, I was like, oh, this card is 100% supposed to be on the main. Like, there's no reason why not to. But I cut it off, and then everybody has cut it off. Astolfo. Why are we not using Astolfo?
Because it's a worse Flint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Astolfo, I mean, sometimes I thought about it when I was opening too much DDR Ogier, because Ogier DDR only makes Istol if you play Astolfo. But
Yeah.
that's not good enough of a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that you want your resource in graveyard for Phoenix Blade. You want your resource in hand because it's in hand, it's life.
Yeah.
So there's no real situation where you wanna sacrifice a resource for a Astolfo.
Yeah.
I do play it, and in my first version of Infernoble. So you don't know. I didn't send you this deck list, but I have one deck list for each Infernoble Knight era. I mean, like my optimal in Infernoble Knight when Ringross was legal. My wait, sorry, my optimal list
Yeah.
when when Jet Synchron was legal. My optimal list when BFD was legal. So I have those list saves, and at full power with All Ion and Jet Synchron, I was playing one Astolfo because it has synergy with my end board. Like in my
Okay.
end board, I needed level 1 extender at the end. So I was playing that because I was having a Coral Dragon with no purpose. But if I had a level 1 extender, Coral and the extender became Dragster. It
Okay.
was a crazy combo. It was not popular, but for me, it was like the best combo
Okay. Gotcha.
because people were doing 3 interruptions. I mean, people were doing Savage, Charles, and Smoke, and I was doing 4 interruptions. I was doing Herald, Kuroko, Charles, and Smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was playing different to have a 4th interruption with 2 warriors. The Astolfo is good if it has synergy with the combo. Like
Oh,
in
okay.
Kali Yuga, I was playing a 60 card Kali Yuga, and Astolfo was cool because it could modulate to be level 4.
Mm.
But with the current deck list, you prefer a Flint or a Renault 99% of the time. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, cause like, if 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 the second effect wasn't like too slow,
Hello.
that card would be really good. Like if it was like either on your own end phase or like something like that, like the turn you use it during the end
Yeah.
phase or something like. I would probably use it like even maybe
I
like
mean,
a two. Uh huh.
even at one standby phase, but I think it
Yeah.
was 2 standby phase. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too. Yeah, it's too much. Like I forget about the effect like half the time. I'm like, I forgot about Astolfo's second effect. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that happened a lot when I was playing it. It's terrible. Maybe in a heavily controlled format, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Is there? Have you ever thought about like running like some hero package, like the a hero lives? I don't remember if a hero lives restricts you to heroes. Let me look it up.
No, no, no.
It doesn't.
It just restricts you to lose on time.
Oh,
That's it.
okay. But that's just an extender, basically, right?
Yeah. It felt kind of a screwed up paying half of your life,
Yeah,
but it could. I mean, you could use it, but you need to run a brick
yeah,
because there is no elemental hero that is special summon by itself
yeah,
that I remember.
yeah,
I would maybe play Bursting Atrix because it was a fire, but yeah, it's not worth it.
yeah, yeah. And then like another one that I was like, oh, I'm using 200 IQ here. Is like maybe the Sky Striker, Hornet drones.
Hornet
Yeah, I mean,
and
just
Rage.
do you like that or not? Or just Hornet drones because it's a warrior, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't put anything in gray for Phoenix Blade. It
Mm,
kind of conflicts with Red Layer. You can play around that because you can have Isol and then use Hornet, but it's not ideal.
yeah.
I mean, you rather have a body.
Mm,
Yeah, that's my take. It was cool with Engage at 3 because you could play one Widow and have more flexibility. Yeah. When Engage was at 3, I was playing, yeah, like one Widow, 3 Engage, 3 Instant with Millennium or Thousand Eyes. No, with Raging, yeah, with Raging because it was a Book Moon.
yeah.
So you had a lot of flexible spots to go second and at the same time to go first. That was really nice.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Like this deck has like so many possibilities and I know I'm telling you guys like every time I ask him something about it for Nobleness, I'm like, what do you think about this theory? He's like, oh, I thought about that like a couple of formats ago. I'm like, what? Like I can never catch him like off guard. I'm pretty sure that you and your team have like theorized about like pretty much every single card possible, like about every single card possible, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, currently I don't theorize too much
Yeah.
because my team, yeah, they are putting some theories with the Baroness, the floor card,
Yeah.
because it has high potential, but we haven't defined like the best combo yet. I
Oh,
am
okay.
not onto that right now, but I do remember all the previous stuff that I have like experiment with.
Yeah.
But, like right now, I am really busy, so I only play. Don't yeah,
No
and I
theory.
try to make theory, but around the cards that I already played.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
what do I do with this opening hand? What do I do versus this hand trap and Colvin here? Or what do I do with 001 in graveyard? And yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. 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 Like, yeah. If you guys think that you know about it for Noble Knights, then you don't know half of it. Like, there's just so many things to theorize about. Like, that's why like I feel like you're not theorizing so much now because like, I feel like you need to concentrate more about like beating the current meta, right? With the current cards. Yeah.
I mean, I think that I already theorized enough
Yeah.
to be confident with my deck list. Like, I already use the hyper geometry calculator a lot.
Yeah.
I compare like 8 different deck lists with ratios and side deck pattern. So right now, I wouldn't change more than 2 cards in my deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good enough to go to high rated with that list, and it's been working. In the last 21 matches, I only lost 2
In the last 21 matches, you've only lost two.
in rated. Yeah, I think
Wow.
it's
And it's in
pretty
high
good.
rated too, right? It's high rated too. So
Yeah. We are at top 100 right now in the count,
what
getting
is
closer.
that's insane, honestly. That's insane. For me, it's the contrary. Sometimes I hop in there and I lose like half of my matches or something like that. Cause like sometimes you lose every die roll, and then when you win the die roll, at least for me, you break. I'm not talking about it for Noble Knights. So I'm playing with Virtual World right now, and then but when
Yeah.
yeah, and then like but whenever I play for Noble Knights, I feel like I break less often. Like I feel like for Noble Knights, you only break like one out of like I would say like 6 hands, right, or 7 hands or something like that. Like like the chances of breaking if you're using the optimal list is pretty low, right? Going first.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, depends on how many warriors you run. Usually, you should be at least 90% confident of opening 2 or more warriors,
Yeah.
and that usually means Isolt.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances are a little bit more than 90 because I play connector that is 1 card, 2 warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool. I think it's really consistent, and when it is not, then that's the moment that you wanna go second versus full combo Drytron with 001 Coldwind and more bricks in
Oh
hand,
yeah.
and that's when you wanna lose die roll, because okay, I'm so glad that I lose the die roll when I bricks, and not when I go first.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's happened to me before, man. Like, I do very well, like at my locals or like at case tournaments and stuff like that. And once I'm getting to top cut, that's when I open 001, Phoenix Blade, Cold Wing, and like some other useless cards. And then you're like, okay, I'm not even gonna play here. I'm not even gonna play. Uh,
Yeah, the chances are so low that that could happen one game,
yeah,
and then you can win the other two.
yeah,
To be honest.
yeah,
So right now, what I wanted to say? Yeah. I think that the deck list is really cool if you know all the possible scenarios.
yeah,
Some people criticize the extra deck. Like some people really love to play Phoenix, to play the other Nightmares and Access Code. Some people hate to see a lot of equips in deck, but if you learn how to play with them, then you get rewarded. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's my take. If
mm,
people are preferring the non-power tool.
yeah, yeah. And then like I remember before when I first started playing, and then like I would open up Cold Wing. Like I was like so mad. I was like, man, like the odds of me opening Cold Wing 2 games in a row are low. But like now that I've learned more about the game, like always like asking you like advice and everything, and like just on my own personal plays, like you can play with Cold Wing in hand, right? Especially if you're playing the PKs, it's even like easier to play with Cold Wing in hand. So do you ever get like people asking you like, "Oh, how do you play with Cold Wing in hand and stuff like that?" Like when you draw it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sometimes I mean
Yeah,
the idea is depends on your deck list. If you are running, I don't know, Plague
yeah,
and Armageddon, then you can just save it to do that. But I think the most optimal and consistent is combo it with Cold Wind in hand, field, or graveyard. So yeah, you should learn your lines. There are
yeah,
ways, like for example, in my deck list, if you have Cold in hand, and your Easel gets negated, then you don't care. You can still combo. You just go to Power Tool, grab DDR pitch Cold Wind, and go from there. If you can normal summon it or put it in graveyard, then you can still have place to do. You can
yeah,
like 2 warriors and Cold Wind could mean uh, 3 interruptions. Yeah,
yeah,
at least. And
yeah,
then 2 warriors and a tuner extender, like I don't know, connector Oliver, Cold Wind. Yeah, that's still 4 interruptions plus the connector and Dolphin hand rips.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy, man. The deck has just so much gas. Has just way too much gas. Like, um, do you see? Okay, so like, here's a question that I wanted to ask you because I've recently made a list of like 3 cards that I believe that will eventually get banned, like just because of
Yeah.
how strong they are. One of them was Verte Anaconda, Triple
Yeah.
Tactics, and the last one was like I sold it. I sold it.
I saw it.
Like I believe like that card just like on theory is so strong. Like literally like what he does, like the card advantage that he does. Like, do you think that in the future like this card will get banned? What do you think?
I mean, I think if it didn't got banned with Infernoble being meta,
Yeah.
it's not gonna get banned unless something like Goku. I mean Goki
Yeah.
when it was tier 1 with Gambler,
Yeah.
with some crazy stuff like that
Yeah.
makes the deck tier 0 or tier 1, then maybe it could get
Yeah.
hit. But I really doubt it because in Goki era it remains at 3.
Yeah.
In Infernoble it remains at 3. So yeah, we need the third wave of warriors being meta.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But if we analyze the card, sorry that
yeah.
I
No,
cut you.
it's okay.
If we analyze the card, you are right. It gives so much card advantage. Like when I was playing Kali Yuga,
Yeah.
when I was playing Magician Soul and Summoner Monk, I had a theory with the bamboo swords because you put Isol, you grab a warrior, you use mill effects, you mill Phoenix Blade, you mill bamboo sword, you get negated. Okay, you got Phoenix Blade in hand, bamboo search in hand, so you plus 3 of a negated Isol. That's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you get so much card advantage in it. Um, and then like a lot of people speculated, like especially like the format where like link cross was legal. They speculated that needle fiber was gonna get banned. They were like, "Oh, this
Oh
card,"
yeah, yeah.
like everybody was saying that was gonna get.
Everybody,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you think that that will get banned before I sold it gets banned? Like, which one do you think will get banned if one of them gets banned? Which one do you think will get banned before?
Maybe Hulky because that I think that happened on in the OCG. Or am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know about that. If you want, I can look it up. Let me see.
No, I think summon sorcerer got banned, and then Hulky, but I am not too sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Like before or like currently?
Maybe before.
Yeah, we'll see right now. We'll see. Um, it's weird
Yeah.
because it's like, let's see.
No, no, no. Actually,
Uh-huh.
Infernoble was legal in the OCG, and they were playing Hulky.
Oh, they were playing hockey.
Yeah, yeah, they were playing
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
two
yeah.
similar to us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they and maybe they didn't got hit.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna ban
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
but it's ban worthy for sure
Yeah,
because that card made a lot of tuners got banned.
yeah,
So it felt like a firewall effect, like
yeah,
firewall got banned a lot of cards, and then firewall got banned.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. A lot of cards have gotten banned because of that card, right? I think
Yeah,
I think it probably just takes like one more card where Konami will just be like, "All right, we're done with you, Halki. Like we try to save you too many times. We banned everything else." uh, like yeah, I feel like the only reason why Konami has like kind of avoided Infernoble Knights is because it's not that popular, right? But if it ever gets popular, we should be afraid because there's a lot of potential cards in Infernoble Knights where they might get hit. You know, like I can see so many cards like getting hit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I hope it doesn't happen, but we can always go back to Dark Warrior Kale Yoga. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what happens, right?
Um, but right now, I don't think Hulky is too much of a threat because the current meta decks, are not too much into Hulky, like Tribury, Prankits, Drytron. So yeah, I don't think it's too good
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
banned.
yeah. It's mainly Infernoble Knights and the Rock Monsters. What are they called?
Spader.
Yeah, they're mainly the ones that use Halki.
I mean, Dragon Link, they always play it.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. But I always see it like as a last
Yeah,
ditch
yeah, it's
effort. Yeah,
not it's not
yeah,
the main line.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. It's just
it's
that
like a yeah, yeah.
if,
You already say it.
if they get interrupted or whatever, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's like
yeah,
a Virtual Anaconda on Drytron.
yeah. So can you agree? Like, speaking of Verte Anaconda, what do you think is the problem? Dragoon, Verte Anaconda, or Red Eyes Fusion? In your
I
opinion?
think it's Dark Magician. It's been too popular since day one
It's the
of the
ultimate
Yu-Gi-Oh.
wizard in terms of attack and defense. That's too
You
much.
see, you even know the text.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the full text of Red Eye Fusion? I don't think we
No,
can.
exactly. That is true. That is true.
So no, no, just kidding.
Uh,
I mean, Dragoon is the thing that we talk about.
yeah.
Like we talk about Dragoon being untargetable, indestructible, pop twice in a turn. Like if you TTT a Dragoon, you win.
Yeah.
Like so, Dragoon has a lot of issues. But if Dragoons gets out of the format, I mean, Verte still means a searchable Super Poly, a searchable Shadow Fusion. So
Yeah. And then
um, I think it's Verte, yeah, because
yeah.
it's what makes the Dragoon searchable.
Yeah.
If you take out Verte, who's gonna play Dragoon?
Exactly.
Guru, Control, the decks that plays
Eldritch.
3 Red Eyes Fusion,
Mm-hmm.
and those decks are rarely meta. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's Verte. I agree.
Yeah. And then like people forget the restriction that Red Eyes Fusion has. If you get Ash on Red Eyes Fusion, that means you don't get any monsters for the
Yeah.
remainder of the turn. So, but like with Verte Anaconda, you can combo off. You can have 5, 6 negations. You can
And then
full
Verte.
and then Verte and then Dragoon and like people don't realize that Verte is just such a stupid card. Like it basically means that your super strong board gets even stronger at the end of the turn, which is just so
Yeah,
dumb. Yeah.
you know, Verte is like Mermaid,
Mm.
Nightmare Mermaid. You full combo, and then you Mermaid, and then you Orcus combo, locked into Darks. So Mermaid is banned,
Yeah.
and yeah, Verte should be as well.
Yeah.
Um, also, I do think that Guru is the best deck to play Dragoon when Verte is banned. Because they can put one negate before to Red Eye Fusion. Because they said they flip summon,
Yeah.
they can still put this and they have the negate in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. I used to play that Dragoon. I have the deck. Dragoon Guru because yeah, it's so good because
Really?
even if you get ashed on your Guru, that means Red Eyes Fusion resolves. And if you don't get ashed, now you have a way to protect the Red Eyes Fusion. You know, in case they try to like ash your Red Eyes Fusion because you have Fiendus in hand. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. Um, I don't know. Like, do you have any card in the ban list that you wish could come back? Not that should come back, more like you want it to come back.
I mean, of course, I want a smoke grenade, but that's unfair. Yeah. And then, what else? I really wanted Rusty when it got banned, but it is here right now.
Yeah.
It makes Kali Yuga possible.
Yeah.
What would I want unbanned? You know what I love to play before even Kali Yuga? Rongo. Rongo
Oh.
60 period. Yeah, but it's unfair.
Yeah.
I think even if you ban the Bamboozling Shadow, there are combos to put a lot of level 4s and make Rongo with 5. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
it's
think Rongo
unfair.
could come back.
Yeah, you know what? Premature Burial. I think it's only abusable in
Yeah.
Infernoble.
Cause you can just
Yeah.
search it with Isolde, right? You can just mill it
I
and
mean, Melee and then Renat.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's too broken
Yeah.
because it feels like a living fossil or like a DDR,
Yeah.
but is it is broken if you
Yeah.
draw it.
Cause
I don't think it's
it has no
yeah I don't
restrictions.
think
It has no restrictions. You just like it doesn't have to be a 1500 or lower. It's just a monster. You pay 800, and then it's like a monster reborn kind of.
yeah I know that's cool. I mean there is the other equip card Snatch Steel, but I don't like it too much.
You don't like it too much?
No, I mean I think it doesn't do enough. I mean it feels like a TTT going second. Just bait one negate,
Yeah.
like acts of fools. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't help to the combo going first. But yeah, as a card, it's broken by itself. Yeah.
And then the question that I've asked everybody that's pretty much been on the podcast, what's your opinion on triple tactics? Do you think that card should be banned? Do you think it's overpowered? Like, do you think it's a fair card, triple tactics?
I mean, it is overpowered.
Yeah.
The thing is that you can always abuse one of those effects. Like right now, I think if you have one TTT in your Infernoble deck, that's really good versus everything except Drytron. But it is good versus, I don't know, Tri Brigades versus Prankies versus any deck.
Yeah.
Because if you can get to 2 warriors, to 2 engines, 2 extenders, you can rip a hand trap, or you can bait a negate.
Yeah.
It's really good. There is
Yeah.
no question around that. The only thing that, I don't like if they ban that, we are really gonna miss Call by the Grave
Yeah.
because we need something to play around hand traps, and right now it's tactics.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think Callby should come to 3? That card is.
Yeah,
You think
yeah,
so?
I think it should because it's the only way to stop like Shifter or Lancia. I mean, Lancia is not too much of a threat, but Shifter is so broken. I think because Shifter exists, or Called by should be a 3 to combat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're ever gonna get Crossout Designator. Like it's Konami's too afraid to bring it to the TCG. Um, like that car is like an upgraded Called by the Grave. I
Oh,
don't.
of course.
Yeah. um.
It's like an omni negate, you know,
Yeah. It's
because you can negate anything if you have the car in your deck. So you could play one shifter, one Nibiru, one imperm, and three designator, and beat any hand drop.
yeah. I do you want that card to come here, or do you think that card is too strong?
No, I of course I want it because I am a combo player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the people that play control don't want it to come here, right? They're the ones that don't want it.
yeah, of course.
All right, then yeah, I think that should be our time. I don't know if you want to say anything else before we like wrap it up. I don't know. Do you have any other thing you want to say?
Well, if you ever want to improve with Infernoble, feel free to ask Yara or to ask me or the lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are here to help and play with the deck. I think Infernoble can combat the meta pretty well. Yeah, usually I like to compare the cards with a lot of other strategies, and like when Dragon Link was a thing, I compare what's my version of Seal. Okay, I have Isol to add. What's my version of Levianir? Okay, Gearfried. I'm boss monster in the main deck. Um, yeah, I think right now we have a lot of similarities with Drytron. So
Yeah.
if you fear Drytron, you should fear Infernoble as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I recommend everybody to have generic hand drops like Gamma, Ash, Imperm, because if you have only Cycle Reader and Droll, Infernoble is gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do believe that. Yeah. Just be more than welcome to ask Gianfranco here or me. And if I don't know, I'm gonna ask him. Hey, somebody asked me something.
Yeah, of course.
But
I
yeah.
will always answer.
But
Yeah.
yeah. All right, then, guys.
Thanks very much
Thank you.
for having me here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime. I had fun. Bye bye.
Bye bye.